Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and most likely good night, you guys. I am so sorry for the delay on this. As always, Google Hangouts, most unreliable piece of shit that is available right now to do this, but it's kind of the easiest software to do this right now. So if you are watching, hopefully you guys are still tuning in right now. I'm going to post the links in the description and all that good stuff, and I'm going to post it on Facebook and all of that other good stuff as well. Hey, already somebody in the chat. Kenneth, how's it going, pal? Thank you, sir, for somebody finding this. Hate doing this. So I'm going to take some questions. It's going to be a real late night. I don't hate doing this. I hate doing it through Google Hangouts. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to the Oscars. I'm just not. Although I've heard it's been mighty political. At least that's the general consensus that I've been listening to from a lot of people that they've gotten very topical in the Oscars today. So that's pretty cool. Let me post a few links. So everybody is aware of that. There's been people that have been bothering me. What up? Which Supergirl TV show doing so well do you think it's the reason for all the collected editions come out? Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. That stuff hands down justifies what we end up getting from, from as far as omnibuses, special editions, hardcovers, and stuff like that. I mean, all you have to do really is look at the fact that we are getting a reprint of Garth Ennis's Punisher Marvel Knights omnibus. We weren't expecting that for a very, very long time. We weren't expecting that at all. Come to think about it, me and Jess actually talked about that in the news show that is on the Patreon right now. So if you want to go check that out, it's on there. We talked about the fact that the Marvel omnibuses seem to be more dictated to what's coming, the movies and things like that, and nobody expected for a Punisher Ennis omnibus reprint to be announced, and well, we're getting one in a few months, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about that. But definitely, absolutely, the books are influenced by what's going on. Sup, fool? What's up, Gabe? Have I been watching Legion? It's been incredible. I've seen the first episode. I'm behind by 2 episodes. I'm going to catch up on it, though. I plan to this week. Hey, I just bought Batman Year One. What do you recommend I buy once I'm done with that story? Well, the logical thing would be if you bought Batman Year One to get Dark Knight Returns. That's considered widely to be Frank Miller's magnum opus by a lot of comic book fans. So that would make a lot of sense to pick that one up if you have an interest in what you read and if you enjoyed it. It's the next logical thing, even though technically that came out after Frank Miller did his Dark Knight Returns, but you know. Dun, 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 dun. You need to check out Riverdale. Yeah, I've heard mixed things. I've heard Riverdale is good, and I've heard Riverdale is kind of lame. So, but I'm interested. I'm interested in it. Do you watch any other comic book YouTube channels? Yes, yes, I do. There's quite a few actually. I watch the Weekly Poll. I like the show there. I like the banter and everything that they've got going on. It's a pretty good show. I do find Benny to be a bit annoying, but he seems like he's a pretty chill guy. Any other YouTube channels? I used to watch CBC, but I can't fucking stand Armin, so I don't watch it anymore. I'm just being honest. I don't really care. Any other YouTube channels? iFanboy, man. iFanboy was instrumental when I was first coming up and when I was first learning about comics. I know there was some issues involving one of their members a few years ago and their girlfriend and things like that, but iFanboy, when I was coming up, it was instrumental. I would look forward to their weekly videos and go, oh, cool, I can add certain books to my list based upon certain interests, and they would definitely guide me into some really cool stuff. Any other comic book YouTube channels? Cape Joel. Joel, man, I've got the utmost respect for Joel and what he does. The Joel is freaking awesome. Love him. His show, I mean, he left CBC to go pursue something else, and I respect the hell out of that. And he's doing his own thing. Comic Book Girl 19. I don't have anything against her. I don't watch her channel. I don't care for it. And yeah. Amir, what's up, buddy? March, aka the month I spend more on video games than comics. It's gonna be rough. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm actually kind of happy that there's really nothing that I want to pick up in terms of omnibuses, hardcovers, and trades over the next few weeks, simply because we've got so many badass video games and so much great stuff that's coming out. I mean, in the next month alone, think about this. We're getting Zelda. We're getting the new Mass Effect. And I'm going to just lump it in because it comes out on Tuesday. We're getting Horizon Zero Dawn, and we are getting the Nintendo Switch. Absolutely crazy. And I'm picking up every single one of them. Oh my god. It's a good time to be a nerd, man. It's a really good time to be a nerd. Can you do a Saber-Tooth Swordsman hardcover review? Absolutely. Actually, I've met the artist of Saber-Tooth Swordsman. He used to work at the comic shop that I used to attend to, Brendan Donnelly. Really cool cat. I've heard good things about Saber-Tooth Swordsman. I haven't picked it up, but I intend to. Man, I'm torn between starting Saga or starting X-Men. What do you think I will finish? Be filled with better reads. Depends on what X-Men, dude. You got to be more specific than that. I don't know what X-Men you could be talking about. You could be talking about Jim Lee. You could be talking about Rob Liefeld. You could be talking about the legendary Chris Claremont or, Rick Remenders. There's so many X-Men titles out there that I need more information to go off of. You just got back from school. Wow, that is really cool, actually. I'm doing this super late, and I have work tomorrow morning. Josh Reed, so pumped for Horizon Zero Dawn and the Switch Zelda, getting both on launch day. Me too. I'm actually going to attend the midnight launch. I'm going to attend the midnight launch, and I will be calling out of work on Friday because me and my girl, we're going to have a day to ourselves. So it's going to be fun. And it's going to be much needed. Did you end up picking up the Stan Lee Daredevil Omnibus? I did not. I'm actually passing on that. Recently finished Flash by John's Book 3. I hope DC solicits a Book 4 soon. I agree. That stuff was great. I had the 3 omnibuses at one point and I sold them off. I got all the way through the second omnibus. And from what I read, I absolutely loved it, but I needed the cash at the time. So I had to sell it off. I picked up the Miss Marvel and Spider-Gwen hardcover and Captain America and Peggy Carter Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from In-Stock Trades. So along with more DC Rebirth. I hope you picked up Detective Comics, because if you haven't, Detective Comics to me is the best Batman title that is going on right now. It's better than Scott Snyder's All-Star Superman. I think it's better than Tom King's Batman. Detective Comics has just been fun all the way through. In all seriousness, if you're looking for a great Batman title, and if you are tired of seeing Red Robin get shit on like he was for the past 5 years in the New 52, Detective Comics is hands down the way to go. It's a great series that I've been enjoying reading. Are you planning on getting the Wade Daredevil omnibus or sticking to the official hardcovers? That's actually a really good question. That's something that me and Jess, we were discussing on the news show that you can find on Patreon. We both agreed that we are sticking with the hardcovers for right now. We don't see a real reason to upgrade. We don't see a purpose for it, so we're going to pass. I got Detective Comics Rebirth Volume 1 hardcover. Great story and first arc. Yes, I actually have it. That was the review that was supposed to go out this week, and it will go out this week. Here's the problem. I lost everything that I did today. Like, all the work that I spent all day doing, gone. Absolutely gone. My Mac went into sleep mode, and when I pulled it back up, all my work was gone on Final Cut Pro. So everything that I did, all the hours I spent this morning, are completely gone, which means I'm going to have to bust my ass later on in the week to make up for all of the lost work. And I am pissed. It's been a really long day. It's been a real shitty and long day. And yeah, that was the cherry on top. I was really fucking mad. Like, I had finished the Harbinger Wars review. I had finished the pick of the week for patrons. I had finished the Detective Comics Volume 1 review. The only thing I really needed to do was do the Manga Mondays review, which is the first 3 volumes of Berserk. And I was going to do that tomorrow, and I'm still going to do that tomorrow, and I would be done for the week, but that sucks. It's not not the case. Yeah, that's what happens though. I just got Ultimate Spider-Man volumes 1 through 22 up to Ultimatum for $88. Hell of a deal. Damn, that is a good deal. That is a really good deal. Okay, but not Claremont, because I bought the main points of his run. So post 2000, like starting with Morrison, continuing forward in order. I'm just scared because it's a lot of money with X-Men. I mean, if you're scared of it being such a huge investment to you, the logical conclusion would be that you just read Saga. You just pick up the hardcover of Saga. The next hardcover comes out in a few months. And there you go. You're going to be spending only $30 versus hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So that would make sense. You take a risk on a $30 hardcover, or you pick up a whole bunch of X-Men trades that you don't even know if you're going to like. Or you get, yeah, Matt makes a good point. Or you could read it on the Marvel Unlimited app. Really big shout out to Matt Miranda, by the way. The guy hooked me up. He found the motherload of Pops today. He was able to go to his local Target, and he found a whole mess of Weapon X Pops, and he contacted me, and now I'm going to be the proud owner of a Weapon X Pop in a few days. Is Saga that good? The first hardcover is fantastic. It's really solid stuff all the way through. I have read everything up until the last 4 or 5 issues, and I think after the first hardcover, it really starts to stagnate and get really slow, and it starts to spin its wheels to the point where I've kind of lost interest in it, and I'm like 5-6 issues behind, and that's not usually a good sign for me. That usually means that I just don't want to come back to it. What's up, HC? Hopefully everything is good. Yeah, I do. I think Saga reads a lot better in collected format. I think it's one of those series that in the deluxe edition hardcovers, or even wait till everything is done. I think it's only supposed to go up to like 60 issues, but it might even go longer considering where they're at in the story. I think it'll read a lot better once everything is all put together and nice. East of West is another great example. East of West is another, definitely another great example of a book that reads a hell of a lot better in collected editions, especially those hardcovers. They are badass. They're awesome. How do you feel about Suicide Squad winning an Oscar? Does that sum it up? Huh? That sum up my feelings pretty good, huh? That's about as far as I want to say. Even in the makeup department. Really? Over Rogue One? Really? Over the Star Trek film? Okay. All right, fine. I mean, you know, the Oscars are a bit of a farce for me. I really don't care about the Oscars. I used to care about the Oscars a lot. Now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. How would you have handled the DC Extended Universe if you were in charge of so many different things? Would you like to see Ikari as a leader of the Hand? I think that is definitely something I'd like to see. I think that'd be really cool. Do you think that Dr. Manhattan may be the creator of the DC Rebirth universe? That's the speculation. The speculation is that Dr. Manhattan is the creator of the DC Rebirth universe because in the Watchmen prequels, Dr. Manhattan ends up saying close to the end that I'm just going to go ahead and go create universes. So the speculation is that he created the DC universe as it is and he's toying around with it. Pay Nolan to keep making Batman movies. No, I think Nolan is done. Nolan's been doing genre films for like the past 10 years. I'm excited to actually see what he does with an actual fact, an actual fictional story. Um, you know, I'm excited to see what he does with Dunkirk. Dunkirk looks incredible based on the few snippets and images that we've seen, but the cast is insane, and I'm excited to see that. Arrival was brilliant. I saw Arrival probably like 2 weeks ago. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I saw Arrival and I messaged Giovanni, and we went on this long, like just discussion on everything involving Arrival, everything involving what happens in the movie and the characters and the language and how it plays with the subjects of time and space and things like that. We went on and on and on for a really good long time, for almost probably an hour, just shooting messages back and forth. I loved Arrival. I think it was one of my favorite films of last year, if not my favorite. If you had to choose one, which would you get? The Green Lantern Omnis or the JSA Omnibus? JSA Omnibus. Hands down. No, my mistake. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Green Lantern Omnibuses. I would get the Jeff Johns Green Lantern Omnibuses without a shadow of a doubt. What image series? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. What image series would you like to see adapted into a movie? Personally, I would like to see any Brubaker stories such as The Fade Out or Fatale, since noir films are not as common as they used to be. Fade Out would be good. Fade Out would adapt really well. Fatale lends itself more to a long-running FX series than anything else. I could definitely see each arc of Fatale being its own season. I think it will just work out a lot better. What movie did you really enjoy but never got a sequel? Me, Dread, and 2007 TMNT CGI. I've heard that 2007 CGI TMNT movie is actually not that bad. I've heard it's pretty damn good. Dread would have been awesome. There were rumors and talks of it happening. I think that would have been great. A sequel to a 2000... Let me get back to you on that. What movie do you really think would never get a sequel? I was about to say Boondock Saints, but that did get a sequel. It just wasn't that good of a sequel. What Marvel Netflix series are you most excited for next year? Iron Fist, Defenders, or Punisher? I think Defenders is this year, isn't it? Isn't Defenders the one that's at the end of the year? Because they're already filming it, so I would imagine that's the end of the year. Punisher would probably be my favorite, my most anticipated for next year. I love. Sorry. I love if Dr. Manhattan takes his mask off in a Rebirth event and is Dan DiDio. It would make so much sense. Yes, it would. It would make a whole lot of sense if that ended up happening. And you know what? It would not be all that shocking. At least not to me. I just finished picking every John's Omni and Green Lantern Corps books from the Lantern Run based off of your reading order hardcover. So thank you for your help in that. Awesome. I'm happy to help. That is a really old video. How did you get the core issues? A lot of the core issues are massively out of print. Very much so, and they're a pain in the ass to get. I love the fact that these films like Arrival and Interstellar are allowing the sci-fi genre to be considered acclaim-worthy. I do too. I think Arrival overall is a far better film than Interstellar, simply because of the fact that I walked out of Interstellar feeling a bit cold. Spoilers for Interstellar, a movie that's like over a year old. The whole thing about the fourth dimension or whatever, it's been a long time since I've seen a damn movie. Like the whole thing about it being love, I was like, oh, God, that's so dumb. It didn't do anything for me. Whereas Arrival is definitely more grounded and the emotional moments hit a lot better. I mean, Arrival at the end of it kind of left me going, kind of left me tearing up like a little girl. I think overall it's just a better film. It's better directed, better shot. The special effects, I will give Interstellar, are very impressive, and the things that Nolan does, setting up shots, setting up tension, setting up mood, and the moment to moments are great. But I think what Nolan's problem is that he can get a bit overlong. I think Interstellar, if you cut out a few minutes of it, would be a better film overall. And I think there are moments in there where Nolan is so concerned about giving you all the information so you don't find any plot holes in what he is doing that it bogs down the movie and it just fills it with unnecessary dialogue and unnecessary explanation sequences. But yeah, that is my money. That is my sentence on Interstellar. Still holding out for those Green Lantern Corps omnibuses. I'm surprised it hasn't happened. The end of Interstellar was crap. I just wanted my money back after I walked out. I was kind of disappointed on it. I enjoyed the film. Overall, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. But as a Christopher Nolan junkie, I expected a little bit more. This is a weird question, but do you know any comics that are like LA Noire? The main theme of the game has a really somber, dark feeling. The Fade Out and what's the name? The Fade Out and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Ed Brubaker. The one where he's the demon chick. Why am I blanking on the name of that book right now? I'm so tired right now. I apologize. I'm blanking on the name. The Fade Out is a good one, and he's got another one. Fatale. The Fade Out and Fatale are perfect books that are in that same tone. Dun, 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 let me catch up. I liked LA Noire. I liked it as a video game. Interstellar could benefit from the same time cuts that the episodes of Luke Cage needed. Oh, Luke Cage needed. Oh man, Luke Cage was one of those series that it should have. Luke Cage was one of those series that. Okay, spoilers for Luke Cage, because there's really no way that I can get around talking about this. But spoilers if you haven't seen this first season of Luke Cage. Luke Cage was one of those that it would have benefited from making it an 8-episode season, and you kept Cottonmouth as the main villain for all 8 episodes. By killing Cottonmouth off about halfway through it, and then they had to fill up 13 episodes, it kind of felt like, well, shit. Now we have to come up with a new villain. Now we have to come up with a new story. It felt like they only had enough content for like a 7-8 episode season, and they just stretched the rest of it the fuck out. Oh, man. What is my favorite Nolan film? Prestige. Prestige is actually my favorite Nolan film. I love Prestige. I'm obsessed with Prestige. I adore that film. Do you have high expectations for Iron Fist? Not really, believe it or not. Based on the trailers that we've seen, I haven't seen anything that made me fall in love with it. The Jessica Jones trailer made me fall in love with it. The Daredevil Season 1 and Season 2 trailers, I was head over heels for that. Luke Cage trailer, they won me over with Shimmy Ya by ODB, hands down. This doesn't really show me anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to see it day one. I'm going to sit down and watch it, don't get me wrong, but, you know, not my thing. Memento is brilliant. Memento is really good. Not Inception. Insomnia is good, but it's a remake. Yeah, Insomnia is a good Nolan film, but like you said, it is a remake, and people tend to forget about that. No, Inception is fantastic. I love Inception. Inception will always have a special place in my heart because I walked out of Inception. Me and my brother went to see another movie, and then we walked right back into Inception to watch it again. I've never done that with a film, but I dug the hell out of Inception. It's definitely has a special place in my heart, but for some reason, I'm just drawn more to the characters and There's just something about the Prestige that I've always been fascinated by. I don't have a half price books in where I live, so that sucks for me. Would a Moon Knight Netflix series do well? I think it could. Yeah, I think a Moon Knight Netflix series would absolutely do very well, given the right director and the right creative team and things like that. I think it could do very well. Which Iron Fist comics should they base the Iron Fist series on? That's easy. Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker's run. That should be it. You go into Logan at midnight. No, I'm not going to Logan at midnight. We are. I am taking Friday off because the fact is, me and my girl, we need a personal day. We need a day just to ourselves because, cranking out YouTube videos, doing this and doing teaching full time doesn't really give us enough time. So I'm taking Friday off. I'm not doing anything else, and we're just going to spend the day together. We're going to watch a whole bunch of movies. We're going to play Nintendo Switch. We're going to play Zelda Breath of the Wild, a whole bunch of other stuff. So that is the goal. I'm going to watch it on Friday. Logan will likely be the best hero movie of the year, but Guardians will probably do better. Oh, absolutely. I expect Guardians to do better financially. One, because Guardians will not be rated R. There's no way in hell that you're going to see, Rocket Raccoon disembowel somebody with claws or anything like that. So Logan will do very well. It'll do very well, especially because of the fact that the reviews have been positive, but it's also an R-rated film. And there still are those dumb parents that they'll take their 3-year-old child to go see an R-rated film. Hell, I really shouldn't talk, considering my father showed me Terminator and The Exorcist when I was like 5 years old, so fucked me up for life. But that's definitely going to be a much better grossing film. Guardians will definitely gross a lot better than Logan will. But Logan, I think, will be the critical darling. I think Logan will review better. Is your body ready for Runaways and Inhumans? I'm not a big TV guy, Gabe. You know that. I don't watch. I still haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I saw like the first 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I shut it off and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm not watching this crap. So I saw that and I gave up on it. I have heard it gets better. I've seen clips of the Ghost Rider stuff, and that looked really badass. Although I heard Ghost Rider's only in this season for like 3 or 4 episodes, and then he's gone. So that was disappointing. But I'm just not a big TV guy. I'm with the exception of Legion, and I still need to catch the last 2 episodes. Yeah, rest in peace, Bill Paxton, man. What a loss. Ugh. Do I know the topic for Omni Bros Live this week? Yes, in fact, I do. The topic for Omni Bros Live this week, for those of you that are wondering, will be Wolverine. We're going to be talking about Wolverine, considering the movie is coming out this week. So it's going to be all about Wolverine. It's going to be our favorite Wolverine stories, favorite Wolverine runs, things like that. So that's going to be real fun. Legion has 3 episodes out, if I'm not mistaken. I've dropped like 90% of the series that I used to watch. I just have way too much to do. That's called adulting, man. That's called being an adult and learning how to space your time out. Something had to give when I started doing this as a part-time gig, and the thing that gave was TV. TV had to give because I still love video games. I still love movies. I still love comic books, obviously. But I was thinking, you know what? TV's going to have to go for a bit. I'll make that sacrifice. I usually catch up on everything during the summer months when I'm not at work. It gives me more free time. I could just plop down and watch a few good things. The topic will most likely change at the last minute. That happens. That's happened quite a few times, actually. Books you regret buying. Jimmy Corrigan. I regret buying Jimmy Corrigan and most of Chris Ware's stuff. I can only watch one show at a time, and it's normally shows that have finished. Just finished The Wire recently. So good. I need to watch The Wire. I've never seen The Wire. Jimmy Corrigan was weird. I just can't get into Chris Ware. I can't. I've tried. The guy's writing does nothing for me, and I feel like I've talked about this every single week. From a technical standpoint, I get the appeal. The technical stuff, I get it, how it looks, how it's drawn, the minimalistic stuff. It's brilliant. It really is. From a story standpoint, I could give two shits about the character. And if I just don't care about the character or what's going on to him, I'm not going to read the story. I get bored by it. I've seen the first two seasons of The Shield. Glad Game of Thrones is coming out in the summer. I'll have time to watch it. Oh, I'm so excited for the next Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh. What do you think excuse me. What do you think the comic book films need to do in order to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars? Or at least considered for a nomination? Wasn't The Road to Perdition nominated for Best Picture? And that's a comic book. I have to look at that. I think it'll take something special. I mean, it's not unheard of that comic book films get nominated. I mean, hell, Suicide Squad just won for Best Makeup, which, you know, it is what it is, but it's not unheard of. Let me think. Big Hero 6 got Best Animated Film. Heath Ledger has won supporting actor the year he died for his Joker performance, and it wasn't a supporting actor award that was just handed to him. That Joker performance was fucking incredible, and I don't care what any hipster or whatever, you know, elitist wants to say, oh, he wasn't that great and all that other stuff. No, fuck you. Heath Ledger's Joker was phenomenal, and I have never seen a performance like that before. So that was that. You need to watch The Wire during when you get a chance, maybe during the summer. Yes, I definitely need to watch The Wire. Everybody says it's amazing. I've heard it's better than Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad being one of my favorite series of all time, it's hands down. Gotta be a must-watch. I'm graduating from my teacher training college in June. Do you have any tips for young teachers like me? I'm turning 21 in August. Oh, dude, good luck. My best advice for you if you are starting out as teaching is definitely know what you're getting into. You obviously aren't going into this for the money because teaching doesn't pay anything. It really doesn't. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You'll be able to scrape by, but even I'm scraping by with my student loans and with credit cards having to pay and with Patreon, and with this, I'm still scraping by. Granted, we live in a pretty good neighborhood. I mean, hell, I'm 2 minutes away from a movie theater, from like basically a mini mall and things like that. So we live in a pretty solid neighborhood. So that's probably why we pay a little bit more, because if we wanted to, we could live in a little bit more area and we'd be doing fine. But I'd rather pay more for that peace of mind. Also, your first year, you're going to be surviving. That's the best advice I could give you. You're going to survive, and there's going to be moments where it's going to be a bit rough, and you're not going to know exactly what you're doing, and all that stuff that they teach you in school, most of it is BS. Most of it is not really going to help you teaching. It's one thing to learn in a classroom. It's another thing to conduct a classroom and to have to hold a student's attention. So that is some of the best advice that I can give you. Just survive your first year. Don't try to overstress it, and don't break your neck to, create lesson plans and to grade everything on the spot or anything like that. Try to just maintain afloat and worry about what you have to worry about. That's my 2 cents on that. And you should be fine. You really should be fine. And know that most of the times your administrators will be cool, unless you really have an administrator that's not that understanding, and they'll give you a pass on certain things, and they'll sit down with you and they'll go, look, this is wrong, fix this, turn it into me when you can. So at least that's how it is in my place where I work at. The Matrix movies won Oscars. Take that. Yes, they did. Are you going to do a Daredevil Mark Waid omnibus review? No, I'm not picking up the omnibus. I'm keeping the hardcovers. Convince me to buy Preacher. Not a question. Okay. Do you like modern day westerns? Do you like great character stories that are influenced by the by classic storytelling? Cassidy, hands down, is one of the best characters that I have ever read in comic books, and he's an Irish vampire with a penchant for alcohol. If you don't mind stories that are very topical even today, that handle discussions such as religion while making fun of them, then this is definitely the book for you. If you are somebody that is easily offended, and I mean very easily offended if you've got thick, thin skin, and even some people that have thick skin, Preacher might not be for you. It might definitely not be for you. Preacher centers around the character of Jesse Custer. In the beginning of Jesse Custer, he gets possessed by this being called Genesis. And Genesis gives him the ability to control people. He can tell people whatever the hell that he says, and they have to do it to a T. They have to follow his directions to a T. So, for example, if he says, go screw yourself, you will literally go and screw yourself. It's pretty shocking. And basically what ends up happening is that Jesse Custer decides, you know what, I'm going to go find God. God has left his post, and I'm going to go have him answer all the questions that I have for him and explain to me why he's pretty much abandoned the earth and why the earth is the way that it is. A very heady concept. Along the way, you meet the inbred son of Jesus Christ, which, whoo, okay, the inbred, like, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson, I should say. That was an interesting thing. So if that offends you, if almost anything I've said offends you, you might want to not read it. Or watch the first episode and the last episode of the first season. I still haven't seen the last episode. That's the only episode I have to see. I've heard the last episode saves what is pretty much a pretty terrible season. Not religious, I'm an asshole. Nothing offends me. Oh, then Preacher's right up your alley. You'll enjoy it. Go ahead and read it, man. Pick up the first trade. No, I actually recommend pick up the first 2 trades. The first trade is really good. It sets things up. The second trade, when you meet Jesse's grandma, is when things start skyrocketing and just going off to the races. So good. TV show that bad? I haven't read Preacher. The TV show is a watered down version of what Preacher is, and it's not even in the same damn ballpark. No, the TV show is not that good. Jody, oh man, you want to talk about bad guys? How great was it when you saw Jody get his comeuppance? Dude, yeah, get the absolutes. The absolutes are gorgeous. It's not bad, it's just not Preacher. It definitely isn't Preacher. It's not even in the same ballpark as Preacher. Like, if they had named it something else, I'd be like, alright, cool, but that's not Preacher. For me, it's not Preacher at all. Ooh, The Devil in Cell Block D. Yeah, that was a good Daredevil story. That was a really good Daredevil story. My favorite part in that story was where the guards are wondering, hey, where's Frank Castle? Oh, he's in his cell reading a book. Meanwhile, there's like a prison riot going on. Oh my god, that was so great. Ugh, good storytelling. That was so good. That was so good. No, one of my favorite Daredevil stories is when Daredevil straps Kingpin to the hood of this car, and he rams him through a damn building, and then he walks into the building and says, "You see this fat sack of crap laying in front of you? I'm the Kingpin now. Everybody has 24 hours to get the hell out of my city, or you will suffer the consequences." And what follows is the most savage beating on the war on crime that Hell's Kitchen has ever seen. Oh, so good. It was so good. Yeah, I remember that. Like Punisher doesn't really have anything to do. That was such a great moment. Um, so the general premise is that Punisher wants to help Daredevil out because Daredevil's in prison. So Punisher's sitting at this cafe and he hears about what happened to Matt Murdock on the TV. So Punisher walks out. He finds, I think it was like a pimp or a drug dealer. He snaps the guy's neck, lifts his hands up, and he waits for the cops to show up. And he says, "I want to go to prison." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, like you really had to do that." Oh, still, that's such a great run. Yeah, Bendis' run on Daredevil. You know, I give Bendis a lot of shit, but that run was so fucking good. Should I just hold on? Should I just pick up the Bendis Daredevil trades or wait for the Omnis? Do they have to be putting out a reprint of those omnibuses soon? It's got to happen. I mean, they're for some damn reason they're reprinting the Brubaker run, but not the Bendis run. No, it's got to happen at some point. It really is just a matter of time. Hold out, and be strong. Would you rather a Daredevil reboot be based off of Miller or Bendis? Bendis, hands down. Bendis' run. Miller's run is fun though. Yeah, Bendis gets a lot of shit, rightfully so these days, but people forget that during the early 2000s and for the better part of the mid 2000s, Bendis owned Marvel. Bendis owned friggin' comics. He was the Scott Snyder of his time, where I'm just using a modern day reference, where pretty much anything that Bendis put out, people ate it up. And he was on fire for a while. He had Alias, Daredevil. I haven't read his Avengers run, but I've heard the start of his Avengers run was really good as well. The guy was on fire at the time, and it just doesn't seem like he either maybe just didn't give a damn, or maybe certain writers they burn out after a while. Yeah, we haven't gotten solicits by the end of the year. We could be getting more by the end of the year. Not likely, but possible. We do know we are getting the Planet Hulk omnibus. We're getting the Punisher Ennis Marvel Knights. That's important to note. It's Marvel Knights reprint. That's coming out at the end of the month, end of the year, and a few other ones as well. We're getting the Darth Vader omnibus. I'm excited for the Planet Hulk omnibus. Oh, you guys, I just started reading Berserk. I made it through the first three trades. Holy shit. Berserk is fucked up, man, but it's so good. It is such a fun read all the way through. It lives up so much to the hype that I've heard. Oh, and then some. I've read Sweet Tooth. I love Sweet Tooth. Hi, I like your Hellboy reading order video. Will you do a revision now that we find out events from Midnight Circus and Hellboy in Mexico have an impact in Hellboy and Hell's final issue? No, I'm not doing a revision of that. That took a long time to do. It's still as relevant as it ever is. Just like one or two issues are added, one or two stories are added. It's still a solid reading order. I don't feel the need to do it. Do you think they are going to reprint the Infinity Gauntlet omnibus before the Infinity War films? I'd be surprised if we don't get a reprint, simply because in that video you see the Infinity Gauntlet omnibus. They have it on the set, and they're using it as kind of like a Bible. We need that 7th Hellboy Library Edition. I agree. We do need more Hellboy Library Editions. We make any new reading order videos, though. Not right now. Not right now. Not in the foreseeable future. Simply because my plate is so ridiculously full as it is right now. I mean, it's crazy. A lot of people don't realize these 10 8-minute videos that I do, they take a good amount of fucking time to do. So it might not seem like a lot of work, but it does take time. And that's only you. The people that aren't subscribed to Patreon don't even see probably half of the content that I do. Invincible is a must read. I need to read that. Yeah, I need to catch up with that. I'm loving Soul's Run of Daredevil. I can't wait to read the next issue. I need to sit down and read Soul's Run on Daredevil. I haven't done that yet. Oh, it's getting cold. I'll be on for probably another 5 minutes, you guys. So, if you got some questions, make it count. Joe Keenum, you preach about Preacher. See what I did there? How good is Preacher? Preacher is incredible. Preacher is my favorite series of all time. Have you read Avengers Assemble by Bendis that came out around the same time as the first Avengers film came out? No, I haven't. I have not. I haven't read anything involving the Avengers line with Brian Michael Bendis. I haven't read anything involving that. Anything recent? No, not to my knowledge. I've heard it's good, heard it's solid, but I've also heard mixed things as well. Yeah, Invincible's fun. Invincible is such a fun series. What will my next tattoo be if you ever get one? I haven't decided yet. I'm more of a spur of the moment thing. 90% of the tattoos I got, my first tattoo I just got it to say, fuck it. I just want to get a tattoo and experience something. And that's on my back. Second tattoo, all of my tattoos are spur of the moment things where I just wake up and I go, you know what, I'm getting a tattoo today. I don't really plan ahead of, like I've got a few ideas, but I don't have anything definitive. Question. Any good comic series like Why the Last Man and Transmetropolitan? Scalped, Sweet Tooth, Fear Agent. The list goes on and on, dude. Would you be doing another Patreon? Yes, actually, I filmed the video today for me opening up the recommendation box. That happens. That's going to be this week, Amir. And it got deleted. But the thing is, with that recommendation video, it takes me like 20 seconds to do. I just basically say, hey, put your recommendations in the comment section down below, and I will do a vote. So that's going to be this week where I'm going to be taking votes for the next Patreon review. For those of you that don't know, once a month I open up a poll and I let the people vote and I let them decide what one review is for that month. This month it was Sculptor. Next month we're going to see what it is. So I'm going to open it up this week. Is the Khabib fight this week? I didn't even know it. I don't know. Oh, I didn't know Khabib was fighting this week. My pick for you would be Rebirth, Red Hood, and the Outlaw. Scott Liddell seems to have redeemed himself. I would have never thought I would hear those words. Scott Liddell has redeemed himself. But, you know. Wait, what? The Khabib fight is co-main? Why the hell would they have a Khabib fight that's co-main? If anything, he should be headlining that. No, that should be the other way around. Woodley and Wonder Boy should be the co-main, and Khabib should be leading that. Oh, Khabib will win. Yeah. Yeah, Khabib's going to win that, hands down. Are you getting the Nintendo Switch? Yes, I am. I'm picking it up at midnight from Best Buy. The official hardcover stuff is the Punisher Max. The Omni is his Marvel Knights. Yep, that is correct. Somebody's looking for funny adult comics. Sex Criminals was funny when it was first coming out. And then it meandered, and I don't know what the hell Matt Fraction is doing anymore. I saw Solicit, and Giovanni tagged me in it. I think the 16th issue of Sex Criminals has come out. How old is Sex Criminals? That's like a 4-year-old book, and only 16 issues have come out. I'm genuinely curious how the hell Matt Fraction sustains his family. I really don't know how the guy is able to make a living because he's almost never writes comics anymore. Like, he writes a few things. He's written Odyssey and Satellite Sam, but I would say those aren't really hits. Those kind of seem like they're meh. And I gave up on Sex Criminals. The Fix. I heard The Fix is really good. Yeah, who knows what the hell Connor is doing anymore, man. I gave up on trying to understand Connor. Um, we know GSP is back, and boy, does UFC need a solid fighter because their pay-per-views have been whoa, they haven't been that great. But we got GSP. I would actually like to see GSP fight Connor, and I think GSP would fucking destroy Conor McGregor in a fight. Like it wouldn't even be close. GSP is overall just such a better fighter. Yeah, Matt Fraction's wife Kelly Sue DeConnick writes as well. I think she's not that great of a writer. Just my 2 cents. I haven't read anything that she's written that has wowed me. For the most part, I think it's pretty mediocre stuff. GSP Jiu Jitsu is supposed to be fire. GSP's Jiu Jitsu has always been great. The guy's just sick. He's nasty. He says he wants to go up to 185 and 155. Um, I would, you know what? But Connor's natural weight is 175. In that ballpark, we've seen it. We've seen him fight the Diaz brother at that weight, and he says he wasn't too comfortable at that weight. But that's the way he kind of walks around at. So that could be an easy fight. But GSP would, oh, it would be so nasty. Oh my god. Yeah, GSP. You want to talk about a goat? GSP. There's a reason, and the thing is, GSP. Yeah, he's been away for a few years, but that's one of those guys that I'm pretty sure he's been away, but he's been constantly training. He's been constantly studying jujitsu. That's something that never fades from you. Any more planned rebirth reads coming up? I'd recommend Dan Abnett's Aquaman. Actually, I have Green Arrow. I'm gonna be reading Green Arrow pretty soon. Two losses, avenged both. Yep. Yeah, GSP is God, fucking animal. I'm excited to see him come back. In all honesty, I'm excited to um see if he how much he still got it. Because in his prime, GSP before he retired, man, almost nobody was touching him. It's very very easy to say that GSP was in many ways the Floyd Mayweather of his time because he'd go all 5 rounds and barely have a scratch in him because he was a technical fighter. And a lot of people would get pissed off because they're like, well, he's not really swinging. He's not really, he's very much a defensive fighter. He likes to play the outside a lot. He likes to swing. But he's also a very intelligent fighter because he knew when to pick his shots. He knew when to go in. He knew when to clinch. He knew when to shoot for takedowns. Very, very intelligent fighter. And when he took you down, and now I'm getting like UFC talk. I know a lot of you people are like, what the fuck is this? Where are the comics? But when he took you down, his jiu-jitsu was, oh my God. Thoughts on Civil War II? No. I'd watch an entire video of you ranting on Civil War II. I think I've talked enough about Civil War II and my hate about Civil War II. God, that was such a terrible event. Wow, I was a big fan of Rampage Jackson and BJ Penn back in the day. Penn just came back like a month ago and lost. Secret Empire looks interesting, but I'm done with events. I'm done with Marvel events. I'm tapped out. I'm throwing my Marvel flag into the ground. I'm not doing Marvel events anymore. Sorry. I'm just not doing it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going to be one of those guys anymore. I'm done, done, done. Done. Absolutely done. BJ Penn came back twice. Both times he looked like shit. Yeah, he's just retired, BJ Penn. Come on, man. just retire. That's all I gotta say. It's about time. What was the last great Marvel event? Not Secret Wars. Damn it, Gabe! You took the obvious answer. Fuck. Um, not Secret Wars. Um, I didn't mind Avengers versus X-Men. I didn't mind it. Um, for the most part, I thought it was a pretty solid read all the way through. They did a lot of interesting stuff. The whole death of Xavier thing was kind of okay again, but he still hasn't come back, so there's that. Have you decided on which country to move to? Yes, in fact, we are looking at we've been looking at Norway, and we are seriously now looking at Japan. We want to move to Japan, not this summer, but 2018 summer. So next year. So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people out there. We really want to move to Japan. We really want to go out there and experience something new, a new culture and things like that. So we'll see what happens. With my teaching gig, it'll be a lot easier too. Yeah, the covers for Secret Empire look really good. I'll give them that. They look really impressive. So what is everybody picking up this week? Super light week. Very light week, in fact. Where in Japan? We're not 100% sure where in Japan. We're looking at maybe Osaka. That is, we can find good places there. We'll miss you. I plan to keep doing this for a while. Just because I moved to Japan doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing this. So, yeah, just because I moved to Japan a year and a half from now does not mean that I plan to stop doing this, okay? I'm telling you right now. This is a long-term bit for me. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere for a while. Daredevil Wade for me and Zelda for the Wii U. The Zelda for the Wii U has me a bit concerned because everybody seems to be like giving it glowing praise, but only on the Nintendo Switch. I haven't seen anybody say how it runs on the Wii U or if it runs as good or anything like that. So, I mean, I'm buying a Nintendo Switch on launch day, so I really don't have anything to worry about, but I'm concerned for a few friends that are picking it up on the Wii U. Supergirl being super number 2, picking out and Miss Marvel this issue. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this because it's getting super late and I have to be up in a few hours. So once again, thank you guys for checking this out. Sorry it was so late. Wait, Pac deleted all his videos? Oh man, that stinks. Sorry for this being so late, but like I said, it's been a really lame day. In fact, the rest of this week is pretty much going to be me having to make up for all the work that I did today that got deleted, and I'm really not happy about that. But yeah, so if you haven't, guys, check out my Patreon. It's down below in the description. It's literally how I keep this channel alive, how I'm able to afford books, how I'm able to do new content. There is over hours of content on Patreon that nobody else gets to see. So for as little as $1 a month, $1 a month, not $1 of the month, oh my goodness, $1 a month, you get the Just in Hardcover news show once a month. $5 gets you it every week. The new video just went up today. And yes, I am opening the recommendation box this week. It was supposed to go up today, but it'll go up tomorrow. So you guys will be able to recommend a book and I will review it for everybody else. So check that out. It's found in the description. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Have a good night. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.